Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Fish Out of Water Tarot, where I can reach across our worlds and encourage and inspire people who feel a little bit like they don't fit in with their crowd. Sometimes you can be like the black sheep of your family. People may not understand you, and you're really looking for connections out there. And I think relationships show up in all kinds of different um, configurations right now. You're happily ever after. You might be living with someone already that's making you happily ever after, or you may be looking. Hey, Sandra. Good morning, Vanessa. You guys. I was doing this so random. I have a brand new reading I'm doing today, and I'm starting with Taurus, and I'm excited to do that reading. But I just felt like hopping on live to see who's there. It's spring is starting, and I wanted to do a quick reading. So thank you for showing up. So let me write down names. I'm learning how to keep myself in order when I do these lives. And so we have Davinia, and we have Sandra, and Vanessa. Okay, perfect. So the cards that I'm using today are the Spirit of the Animals Oracle by Jody Bursma. And I love this deck, and I love how animals can reach and touch our lives, right? And nature. Lately, I've been understanding more deeply that when I'm stressed and I can go outside, I rarely worry when I'm outside. I'm so distracted by the beauty of nature. And sometimes I even say the planet is my soulmate. So anyway, you didn't come to hear me babble on. You came to see your cards. So let's go. So let me first. You guys are waiting. I appreciate that. But let's just pull a card for the general theme. Yes, oh gosh, the cardinals. Where I used to live in Mexico, there were no cardinals down there. There's no cardinals on the West Coast. So when that red bird comes to um, my little front porch, I'm so thrilled at the sign of that. Oh, by the way, so for today, if when I draw your card, please go to Google and Google the spiritual meaning of the animal that I pick for you, because I know for sure there's an extra message that you'll find that'll support what we're doing. But anyway, let's let the animal world bless us today, and let's just pick a card for the reading. Oh, I'm so sorry you've gone through that, Davinia. A lot of times nature will speak when our heart is broken, isn't that so? I'm sorry for your loss. So this is our animal card for the reading. And I love this makes me emotional um, on many different levels, because self-love is so important. And when you're waiting and waiting for something, you could get into that place where you're thinking, what have I done wrong? What is it I need to do to make this thing happen, right? Especially if you're into manifesting and you can't figure out why you're waiting so long. And the answer will always come back that during your time of waiting, practicing self-care and self-compassion is a guarantee of a more content life. So with this deer card, it says, be gentle with yourself. I feel like this is Catherine. Okay, so the message is for me, and I'll share it with you. Oh, hi, Cyan. I welcome. I put your name on the list, so thank you. Hey, Emporio, you guys are back. I love it. I'm so glad to see you again. But anyway, so we look at this card with the dear love, and it says that you have so much power to love. You're anybody who tunes in and finds me online. I know that we vibe to the same frequency. Me too, Zion. I'm so glad to see you here. But the way the internet works and how magnetism, it's such proof of manifesting, because some people that show up to these live readings, they've never heard my voice before. They don't know what's happening. But it's a time, if you're hearing this, that's your sign that this reading is for you. It's really rather simple. The best thing you can do for me is just add your thumbs up. I feel that like a hug, and also subscribing, of course, because that helps other people find these readings. So Yes, absolutely. I love that soul tribe ethereal connections, Divinia. That's so true. And like right now, I have goosebumps that are running through my chest and down my arms. And I wouldn't be surprised if some people on the phone, or excuse me, I'm talking on the phone, but I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys are feeling that kind of a bzzzt or energy in your body, goosebumps, when things connect with you. Sometimes we use the word resonate. If you're resonating with the message, you might feel goosebumps in your own body and brings us into tune with one another. So let's set this here. This is our theme for the whole live stream, is about love. I do attract a lot of people who are looking for love. If they may be single and looking, or they just may want a deeper connection with the people that are in their lives. And so the cards always have messages of love. So the first person on my list today is Divinia. So Divinia, hold your issue close to your heart and to your mind. These readings are not really about personal requests because they're for the collective. That's Murphy. Murphy, come here. Shh. Murphy, Murphy, come here. Good boy. The readings are for the collective, so I can't really answer personal questions here, but as you hold in your heart the thing that you're wanting wisdom about, I have a feeling the card's going to be speaking exactly to your heart. Okay, no, let's get going. We have a lot of people here. And so, Davinia. Ooh, Davinia, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love these cards. So, Divinia, my friend, so what I'm seeing here is that there's a part of you that's kind of, oh, hey, Jashan, welcome. A part of you, Divinia, is shying away from your call. There's a part of you, maybe you're shy, or maybe you're thinking, oh, this is too big. I couldn't possibly do this. And the universe is saying, oh, no, my friend, you are able to. If you can dream it, you can achieve it. I think what it's saying, though, is that your strength, this reminds me of the strength card in the tarot, but you have a helper. Like the lion is the symbol for the divine here. And I feel like when the lioness is kind of looking off to the side, she's not taking full advantage of her helpers and the helpers on the other side. And so, especially when you're going through a great loss, it can feel like the divine has deserted you. And it's hard. I can remember a couple of times in my life where I thought to myself, is if this is what God's all about, I don't want to have any part of it because the pain was too deep. But the fact is that we do have a divine connection. I sincerely believe that within my being, at the deepest core of who I am as Catherine, there is a connection to the divine power, the spiritual energy that keeps me alive. And that the more I get in touch with that deepest core part of myself, the more I can feel the natural unfolding of life and go step by step. But if I close myself off because I'm afraid or nervous about whatever it is I'm doing, I can feel cut off from the divine. But the fact is, we can't be cut off from the divine. It's the very fiber of who we are. So, Divinia, through this time that you're going through, there is a calling. And because there's a calling, you are going to be helping other people. You're probably already helping other people and you don't even know it. But just understand that the divine knows for sure what's going on with you, and there's such great love for you. If you are a tarot fan and you have your own cards, I would look into that strength card. And also another thing, you can just Google tarot strength card and just read about it because I feel like there's a message there for you. And and I'm sorry you have to be going through so much, but I do know that the sun comes out after a dark time. So hang in there and keep coming back, visiting me here for sure, Davinia. And those of you listening, everybody lift up Davinia. It is hard when you've had a loss sometimes to even know how to go forward. And who of us doesn't know that? So bless you. And next we have Sandra. If anybody who's newly joined, I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot. I'm especially talking to shy and awkward social people who really want to be more connected, but it's always so difficult for some of us. So yes, let's just pour on the love for everybody that's in this little group right now that's watching and listening. There's so much love for you. It makes me feel emotional. And again, I'm feeling goosebumps in my chest. So if you're feeling goosebumps in your body, that's a sign that as you listen and we connect through this video, that somebody sees you on the other side and they want to support you. Okay, so let's go forward, Sandra. I hope you guys are enjoying the animal deck today. I have such a collection, and these cards haven't been used for a while, so they were like, okay, let's pull a card. And this one is for Sandra. Oh, Vanessa, gosh. Man, my heart goes out to you, Vanessa. Gosh, this is a deep and dark time for some of us, isn't it? And it's even more miraculous that nature can reach through our grief and speak to us. So we'll get to you next, Vanessa, with a card for today. And Sandra, we have personal choice. Okay, so Sandra, my friend, this card is very interesting because it allows you to choose your own animal. And so this is my card for wake-up call for your imagination. Many times people get stuck as adults because they have forgotten that they have an imagination. It may have been years since they played Let's Pretend. And so a lot of times you'll get counsel about playfulness and needing to have more fun. In fact, the Taurus reading, I'm doing a Taurus reading here today. I should be doing it now, but I wanted to go live instead. But there is a real good message for Tauruses on this very issue. Pam Grout, you guys know, some of you, that I so admire Pam. She wrote a book called E Squared, and it's a fabulous book. It's about energy experiments so that you can actually document manifesting and watch it work. And her book, it's just a phenomenal book, E Squared. But she teaches that if what you're doing is not fun, it's not sustainable. And we can't force ourselves to have fun. Fun is something that's organic. So when I pick this card, it always says to me, what can you do that's more playful? What can you do? Let's pretend is a great thing to do. Next time you go go hop in your car, you can say, let's pretend we're in, you pick a different city. Let's pretend we're in Albany, New York. I don't know why that popped into my head. And let's pretend we're going for coffee there. It's amazing how you can wake up these parts of yourself that really do want to comfort you and help you go forward. So, Sandra, another thing, coloring. If you haven't colored for a while, another thing would be making crossword puzzles or jigsaw puzzles, getting involved with crafts, taking an art class. There's all kinds of things you can do to wake up your imagination. So your message today is to, what I like to do is to ask myself a question. The mind likes questions. So you can ask yourself, what's the easiest way that I might have fun today? I wonder what will show up that is fun for me today. That's a real good one. I wonder, hi Gail, let me put your name on the list. When you say to yourself, I wonder, or how will I have fun today? Your brain kind of loves questions, and you're going to be able to, you'll be surprised at the whimsical things that pop in your mind. Going to the cupcake shop, picking a delicious looking cupcake that's just decadent. That's part of the little person, the little child inside that might be delighted. Oh, and I will say this also for anybody that's listening that's going through a hard time. Be sure to look for Louise Hay Inner Child Meditations on YouTube. Her voice is magical. She's no longer here with us on this side of the veil. Hi, sweetie. But you do want to check out Louise Hay's Inner Child stuff because that can really help. Okay, so thank you all for writing messages to me. I can almost pay attention to two things at once. And now Vanessa, let's hop in there and see. So Vanessa, holding close to your heart what it is that you're wanting to hear from the divine today. I have to close my door because, hiya DJ, welcome back. I just have to close my door because it's chilly here. I'll be right back. Also, Murphy will be quieter because he can't see the doggies walking by. Okay. All right. Those of you who are newly joining, I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot. Thank you so much for visiting. If you'd like to have a card read, I'm going to be here probably another 45 minutes or so, and I get as many readings as I can. So just put a comment in and I'll add you to the list. And now we're with Vanessa. Okay, my friend. All right. So, boy, this is the truth for you, for us, when for you, when you're going through. Oh, thank you. I resonate with you guys too. I can feel the goosebumps. I know we're connected here. And there's so much loss. And I have a sense that that's kind of our theme through here, the sense of loss. And let me just read the words on this snow leopard. I love the snow leopard. Google this beautiful animal. If you don't know much about this animal, it's just a beautiful message. But you are strongly independent and often solitary, Vanessa. Integrity is important for your best outcome. Cloak yourself with invisibility and walk with the shamans. Use your intuition and let your life unfold in silent perfection. So it looks like the snow leopard is calling you to a new level of self reliance. Going through, I actually, some of you know this already, but I actually worked at the pet cemetery in San Diego for about a year and a half, and it was life changing work to be with people when their pets passed. And I had a grief group that I called the Hug Club because I didn't want to call it a grief group. And I came into such wisdom watching and assisting people going through grief. I'm also a hospice volunteer. And so being involved with these precious times of life, of loss, there's an opportunity in it for great self growth. If we do tend to rely on others more than we're depending on our own divine connection, it can be confusing. And sometimes we can allow another person's behavior to shape our attitudes and perspectives. So when you are in grief, one thing I can suggest with all of my heart is to go to a grief group. Grief groups are amazing and they're available everywhere. You can just Google it in your community. But getting through, good morning, Carmi, getting through times of heavy grief, it can be very difficult to know how to connect again. So I would say that for you also, spend time in nature. The weather, if you're in a part of the world where the weather's getting nicer, be sure to get outside and let the sun shine on you. Okay, so a special message for self-reliance at this point for you, Vanessa. And congratulate yourself. Look yourself right in the mirror, right in the eye, and say, I'm proud of you. Like you're talking to yourself, right? I'm proud of you. Look how well you're doing, even though life has been difficult. Okay, so I'm sending love to Vanessa. Again, another one who's got great loss going on. So everybody on the video, just as we read each card today, especially when I'm reading the cards, hold the person and make a community of energy, like a cocoon, to help the people who are really trying hard to move forward, but having a difficult time because of grief and loss. So the next person, Zion, I'm calling you Zion because you have such a long name. I don't know which part of the name to call you, but Zion, thank you so much. And those of you who leave messages or comments for me, I love that. And also, if you want to reach out, please do email me. It's in the description below with the notes, but it's tarotinfo, please, at gmail.com. And that's how you can reach me. And with any questions at all, please reach out. I'd love to hear what's going on with you. So now we have Zion, and and I just love that. And the tears, like when we have tears, did you guys know that the very ingredients of the tears, the chemistry that the tears carry, are juicy with cleansing, and they wash us from the inside. And it's like a biochemical thing, which is very cool. It's very interesting that after a big cry, you'll often feel really refreshed. In fact, I used to be fearful. I'm sorry to interrupt myself in the reading, but I used to be fearful about looking at some of the deep sadness that I've gone through and all that. It was intimidating to me. And then I realized that a storm, like a thunderstorm, it has three different phases. And so does crying or weeping when you're having a tragedy or going through a hard time. In the thunderstorm, first you hear the thunder in the distance rumbling. It's not there yet, but you know it's coming. Same when you're going to cry. You can feel the pressure in your chest. You can feel tingling at the back of your eyes. You can feel up into your throat some tightening, and you can feel that the cry is coming. Then, when the storm comes, the wind is blowing, the trees are going back and forth, and lightning's flashing, and it's thunder, and it's loud, and it's violent. You know, a thunderstorm is violent in itself. And the energy, you should see my hands and arms. I'm like gesticating, that this huge energy is swirling around you in the storm. And then the storm passes. And as it passes, sure enough, in the distance, you can hear the thunder leading the way into the next county, right? And so what happens next is the beauty of everything that got washed by the rain. So you go outside and everything's sparkling clean. And then the sun comes out and it's peaceful again. When I was younger, I believe that if I started to cry or if I felt like I let my big feelings of sadness out, that I would start crying and I would never stop. And that held me captive for literally years. But once I learned that thunderstorm story, I felt better about it. And also another tip, if you have hard time crying, because sometimes people are just so brave and they won't let themselves cry no matter what, pick a sad movie. Pick one of your favorite sad movies, Finding Neverland, for example, Forever Young. I like old movies, as you can tell, but something that's got a good story with the sadness in it, and then set an intention. While I watch this movie, I want to let my emotions flow in healing for myself. And if you've never tried that, do it. No, sorry, I got distracted. Zion, your card is coming. Sometimes those little rants come and I don't know why. Uh, but anyway, okay. I guess the main point is it doesn't do us any good to hold our tears back. It really doesn't. Hi, Betty. I'll put your name on the list. I'm going to be reading cards for about another 35 minutes. And so whoever I can get in, I'll get in. And now I promise to stop ranting and keep reading. Zion, this is for you. Ooh, I love the dragon card. Okay, so Zion, for sure. Oops, sorry. Oh, gosh, it wants to wiggle right out of my hands. So I feel like the universe is kind of calling you to take a big step, Zion, that I feel like you've been kind of balanced, like walking on the edge, and you're feeling like it's a little risky to embrace some of your ideas because it doesn't fit. A lot of people who find my work, a lot of fish out of water, a lot of fishes out of water, are just feel like they don't fit into their family and they're like born in the wrong nest. And this could be true of your friendship group also. Once you start getting interested and curious about the cards and about the spiritual wisdom and what is energy and, can I really manifest or not? And all of those thoughts start running around in your mind. You can feel disjointed. Look at how see the curly cue of this tail. I feel like that's part of the cycling. It's like, who am I? What am I? What am I supposed to be doing? So I think that the universe is reaching out through this dragon today to let you know that you're feeling correctly. You are definitely being called into a deeper knowledge of what I might call the esoteric. And so it might be a little bit intimidating for you to step out, but even being here on this call today, that you are being drawn to the right place at the right time. You're probably noticing that the YouTube videos pop up and they're just what you need to learn. So I would just dig in, follow the authors and teachers that you really enjoy, and explore and get your confidence up with what it is that you understand about the supernatural, because I think it's part of your life in the near future. Okay, so the fact that the esoteric's been there most of your life, again, what I'm seeing here is like there's a need for you to advance, to get out of this circular. I mean, everything's like circle, 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 and it's not advancing forward. So I do feel that it's time you have a mission. The last card that I read for which one was it here that had the no, not it was the first one, I think, with I'm going back. I'm in review here. Yeah, the first one with Divinia, the fact that there's a calling on your life that involves the esoteric, and it's calling you to advance forward. All right. Okay, so next we have Emporio. Emporio, let's see. Hold in your mind. What is your issue? You are so welcome, Zion. Hold your issue into your mind, and let's see what animal wants to step forward to bless your day today. And this is for Emporio. Ooh, okay. All right. So, Emporio, today the universe wants you to step up and claim who you are. Nobody can give you a self concept that you don't have for yourself. How can I, as you step up and see yourself as accomplishing a lot and being successful, you're going to have a level of being satisfied with your life. So, what this means is there's some pieces missing to your own self concept, but because you're not seeing them. So, what is important here? Every human has nobility. Not all of us wear a crown and are kings or queens of a country, although you could be. But everybody has nobility simply from being human and for surviving what we've survived so far. So, for you, Emporio, this is my recommendation. And every person that's listening to me, this is a great exercise. Write down the 10 things that you've accomplished in your life that you're most proud of. All right? 10 things. So grab a pencil, write that down. Write down 10 things that you are proud of yourself. Go all the way back to your first memories. Some of us I'm proud of myself for surviving a real crazy family. It was like there were a bunch of Indians with no chief. There was a lot of turmoil and a lot of violence and a lot of unspeakable things. And a lot of us went through that, but I survived that and I'm proud of myself. Once you get your list of 10, go for a list of 15. Over your lifetime, what are the things you've done that you're proud of? If you only write 2 and you're lost, you're like, I don't have anything that I've accomplished, then you need to ask your friends, ask a friend who you're close to or a family member, and ask them, what do you think I've accomplished in my life? And you might be really surprised. Okay, so make that a mission. Take a whole week to do it, but let yourself step up into the nobility of who you are, Emporio, and what you've accomplished, because it's maximum for you to see it first. Because once you see and recognize and congratulate yourself, you'll find other people start to treat you differently because you are noble, because you're human, and you've accomplished a lot. Thank you. Okay, let's move on. We have Shahan. And you know what? I just need to just take a break here for a second because my phone is running out of juice. So I just want to hook myself up to the electricity here. Thank you for your patience. Okay. Shahan, welcome back, holding your issue in your mind. Those of you who are here, I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot, and it's tarot messages for people who are feeling shy and awkward, and maybe it's a little hard for you to speak up for yourself. That's why we're here. So Shahan, we have the pronghorn. Now, sometimes, remember what I had said earlier too, that whatever the card is that comes up, you can Google Hi, Lisa. You can Google the animal and just Google spiritual meaning of a spiritual meaning of this card. You too, Sandra. And you'll get an extra message. Okay. So, anyway, the pronghorn, this is about taking action. So, Jahan, there's been something that you've been stalling, I would assume, and that there's maybe a lack of confidence because maybe a little perfectionism, Shahan. Are you a person who likes to do things well or not at all? Are you a person who can get stuck taking a first step because you don't want to make a mistake? And there's a saying that goes, let me see if I can remember it properly. It says, don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness. Okay, let me explain that. So if you're stalled because you don't want to make a mistake, so you're like, gosh, if I make a mistake, something terrible is going to happen. Not necessarily. That is for sure. And so act. And then if you offend somebody or if your action causes a mistake, all you do is apologize. I'm sorry. I was trying to do the best I can. But Jahan, it's important for you to take action in this I would say in this next couple weeks, for sure. When you catch yourself saying no, when you catch yourself saying, no, I don't think I want to do that, just stop and think carefully. Is it a true no? Or are you stalling from getting something done? Okay, because taking action is going to help you boost your self confidence here. Okay, and now we have Gail. Welcome, Gail. And Lisa, I did get your name on the list, and I've got about 30 minutes left. I'm going to get as many readings as I can. Thank you so much for visiting me. I don't want to rush. Thank you for all the support and the love. You guys have no idea how important it is for you to realize how much I appreciate your support. So adding a thumbs up for sure helps me. It helps YouTube help people find me, and the subscribe list, of course, so you get notified. All right, let's see. You're welcome, Jahan. If I were there, I'd give you a hug. Okay, Gail, let's see what the cards have for you. Squirrel. Oh, I love the squirrel card. Okay, so what we have here in the forefront are these little birds called chickadees. And they're called chickadees because when they talk, when they chirp, they go chickadee dee dee, chickadee dee dee. And these are very playful little birds, okay? These playful little birds are fun to watch. They love to visit bird feeders. And I don't know why they're grabbing my attention because the squirrel is hiding in the background. However, the message of squirrel is that, first of all, did you know that squirrels, well, when they hide their nuts, I don't know if you live in a part of the world where they have squirrels, but squirrels hide nuts. They're famous for it, collecting acorns and nuts, and they hide them. But Murphy, but do you know that they only find, like, I think it's less than 10% of the nuts that they hide. The squirrels, if you Google squirrel, do it. I mean, you guys, because the squirrel message is so fascinating. They're busy, busy, busy. So if we look at the squirrel almost looks a little tired. I'm just going to pull it closer so you can see. I love squirrels, but look at the squirrel. I mean, he looks tired, doesn't he? He's got bags under his eyes. And so squirrels can work, work, work to save their food and their nuts, but they need to be playful in fact, some of the things they do look playful. Squirrels are famous for stealing food from bird feeders, and you can have a bird feeder that's foolproof for squirrels supposedly, but they can always get that. So they have, even when they're working, they are cute and they're amusing. However, the message of the squirrel is playtime. What are you doing that's fun? This is kind of a workaholic card sometimes. So Gail, maybe that's resonant for you, that it may not be your profession, but there may be a part of your life that you may be a little bit obsessive about, where you're just doing it. Maybe you're doing one thing and you're leaving 5 other things untouched. And so there's this illusion of not having enough time. But those chickadees in the forefront really help me because the squirrel is looking longingly how the freedom of those birds. I mean, they don't bury a single bleeping nut. Okay. And so it's important that you know, with the spiritual bags under your eyes, you know, I would say for sure get outside. I mean, I took a walk with my dogs the other day and I brought an umbrella. I lived in the desert for many, many years and there was hardly any rain. And so when I love the rain, and I think I'm the only person in my neighborhood walking outside with an umbrella. But as I said earlier in the call, it's next to impossible for me to worry when I'm outside. And so for people that are doing too much or they feel like they're maybe have that obsessive thinking about something, take a walk, get outside. It really does help. Okay. And be sure to look up squirrel on Google. Just look up the spiritual meaning of squirrel. I think it's going to blow you away, Gail. All right. So, sweetie, we have you next. So, sweetie, and also I will put out this video later on today. It'll have timestamps for all of the cards. So if you have to leave the call and can't listen right now, you'll be able to pick up your card later. Okay, so we have Sweetie. Let's see what we have here. Oh, I love the elephant. Do y'all love elephants? What's not? Have you ever met a person that doesn't like elephants? You're welcome, Gail. Elephants fascinate us. The size of them, the magnificence. I can almost say, I want to say the humanity of elephants. And by that, I mean there's this tenderness that, you know, that I have for animals of great size and what they go through. And if you do Google elephants and you watch videos about them, they have emotion and they do celebratory behavior. And when an elephant passes away, they recognize that. There's some phenomenal things that the elephant has to teach us. And one of the things with the elephant is that they're kind of easily trained. And the whole thing about circus elephants. Okay, so what's hitting me about this card? Let me take a breath. A long time ago, and probably still happens in some parts of the world, if they wanted to have an elephant be in service to them for whatever reason, they would put an ankle, um, like an ankle, like almost like a, I want to say handcuff, but an ankle cuff where there'd be a piece of metal around the ankle and then a chain, and the chain tied up to a post or to a tree, and that the elephant would learn that it could only walk as far as the chain would allow. And then the trainers realized that they could unchain the elephant, and just because that metal cuff was on its leg, it thought the chain was still there, and so it would not try to run away. And so that's what I'm sensing for you, sweetie, is that there's something that's holding you back, but not really. There's something from your past, a belief that you have that you can't go or you can't expand your dreams, but it's an illusion because there's nothing really holding you back. The elephants hold a great lesson. And in this particular deck, it's about greatness and recognizing who you are. There's another couple of the readings today have been about your giftedness and stepping out, that there's a call on your life. That seems to be a repetitive theme for this reading. The theme of the reading is about self-love, and the deer is showing us the need for tenderness and softness. Well, guess what? The person that needs the most tenderness and softness is you. And so I feel like for you, I believe that this message will be confirmed for you, that you will be hearing this, and maybe you already have, that you're not as stuck as you think you are, and that the greatness of what you're here for and what you can accomplish is coming your way. This elephant, if you look at the elephant, he's in motion and he's walking forward. And I believe that's what's happening for you too. So if your sense, yeah, right, right. I'm wearing, here, I have this ring on my hand. See it? My little Ganesha. But yes, so I would say that in your belief system, then I would create some sort of a ritual or ritual's a nice word, some sort of commitment to Ganesha for wisdom in this situation because you're not as tied back as you think you are. Okay, and our next person is DJ. Hi, DJ. I think you've been here before. Thank you so much for those of you who are coming back. I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot. And today we're using the Spirit Animal deck. What's it called? Yes, Spirit of the Animals Oracle by Jody Bergsma and DJ. Oh, beautiful. So we're looking at this beautiful swan. Now, the swan is a wonderful energy for you, DJ. So let me just take a second. So this card calls me into remembrance of the importance of balancing the divine feminine and the divine masculine. This is a very feminine energy card. Look at how graceful and beautiful. And if you see swans swimming across a pond, and that's something you can easily YouTube and watch, and as any of the larger birds that use water, their feet are not visible as they're under the surface, helping the swan glide on the surface of the water. And so they look like they're not moving at all. They're just coasting across the water. And there's a sense of ease and flow and receptivity. And all of that is connected with the divine feminine. Now, I want to tell you something about swans. I like to fish. I haven't fished in a long time. I want to try to take care of that this summer. But going out into a small boat, into a lake, I'm casting my little hook with a worm. Sweetie, I'm glad you could resonate. Again, those of you who want to email me, tarot info, please, at gmail.com. It's in the description below. However, now with this card, I was out in the lake and we were fishing and we were just coasting along. And there were some swans there, 3 of them, and they're gorgeous. I mean, they're mesmerizing to watch because they're so big. And so they're coasting along the water and they're kind of coming close to us. And I was excited because they were so beautiful. Well, guess what? When they got close to the boat, they started hissing. They raised themselves up onto the water a little bit. Their necks got tight and they hissed with this terrifying sound. I'm not even kidding. And they, holding themselves erect like that, they were huge and they were frightening. And so part of this message is that what you see is not what you get, right? So even though the swan looks like this gentle and graceful creature, the fact is that when it was threatened, it changed its character. And so I feel like what the message is for you, DJ, is to find that middle ground. I have a sense that you have like a fiery personality, perhaps a part of you. It's harder to be patient when people are acting dumb, you know. And there's a part, listen to Murphy growl a bit, Murphy, shh. But there's another part of you that is this graceful, you don't want to make trouble or cause a problem. But there's a fine line between allowing things that are not right for you and be able to speak without being misunderstood or misinterpreted. Don't be afraid to say no if you want to say no. But hey, Murphy, come here. It's okay, boy. There's an article that I wrote, and I will add it to the comments below. And it's about inviting the divine feminine into your life. And it's in their experiments. There's like 20 different experiments you can do to play with the idea of adding divine feminine energy. Okay, so I'll make a note for myself and I will add that to the resources below. Okay. Oh, that's fantastic, DJ. Excellent, excellent. DJ says that he or she has been working on the throat chakra, which is so important. The throat chakra is the the empowerment of speaking your own truth, whether people like it or not. And the throat chakra color is blue. And so one of the things you can do, DJ, is when you can wear a blue shirt, you can wear a blue stone like sodalite or lapis lazuli. Both of those are gorgeous blue stones. There's another one called azurite, Azurite. I have a piece of that somewhere here. It's a beautiful blue stone, but that carrying a blue crystal, wearing blue clothing when you need to talk to someone about your truth can be helpful. Okay, next we have Karmic. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. Karmic, I think is, or Karmi, one or the other. Can't read my own writing. So for those of you who are just joining, I'm Catherine, and you are having a reading with Fish Out of Water Tarot, and I really appreciate your being here. Hit that thumbs up so that we're connected. Join the energy, and now let's see what we have for Karmic. Excellent. Perfect, DJ. Keep me posted. Let me know how it works. Email me. Let me know what's going on. Okay, so owl for Karmic. Okay, owls are very interesting animals. Sometimes, for some people, they get totally freaked out that owls make them nervous because they seem otherworldly. Okay, so you're like an owl can turn its head almost all the way. Of course, it can't go all the way around, but because the owl can rotate its head in unnatural looking ways. Another thing is that when an owl flies, you can't hear their wings. A lot of, like, for example, with a hummingbird, it's like the opposite energy. I love hummingbirds and I feed them. When they fly by you, you hear a buzz. Zzz, because their little wings are are flapping so quickly they create noise with their wings. And they're an itty bitty bird, and you can hear it clearly. So here's the owl coming, and they make zero sound. Why? Because they're hunters, and they depend on their ability to find small animals to live, right? So what an advantage for them that they don't, that they can fly silently. So for you, Karmic, the magic of the owl for you, I believe, is creating the ability for you to accept your gifts. Okay, you may be a person who has sensed things like in a psychic way. You may have been, you may be a person who, it, you know how people are feeling. Like you walk into a room and you feel it. And so there's been some denial of it because it feels weird, that what is this I'm feeling? And I can relate to my own life. For many years, if I was able to feel the feelings of other people, I didn't understand that. Like if somebody was really angry in the room, I would feel involved in their anger. Like I would want to help them stop being angry, or I felt plugged into that anger. Like if somebody's really sad, I would start feeling sad with them. And as a little kid, it was scary because I didn't know what it was. As an adult, I'm better at recognizing when I'm feeling really sad sometimes, and I like, what's that about? Why am I feeling sad? I've learned to ask myself this question: is this sadness me, or am I plugged into somebody else's sadness? So I feel like for you, Karmic, that you're kind of learning how to separate yourself and your own feelings from the people around you. People don't like, you're kind of that comfortable silent energy, like the wings of the owl don't make any noise. So people feel safe with you, and they might even tell you things that you're not comfortable with. That's true for me. People will all of a sudden open up and start telling me about something really hard, and I've learned over time to stop them and say, wait, I'm not qualified to hear this. This is too much for my energy, however you want to phrase it. And then create a safety zone for yourself, because you don't have to be like a receptacle or a container to hold on to other people's emotions and pain. Okay. There's a lot of magic in your life, karmic, and I think you feel that. So I would Google the meaning of owl for sure and read up on it, but trust your gut. You have a lot of potential to help people, and the universe is behind you 100%. Okay. Very interesting readings today. Don't be surprised if some of that you resonate with more than one card. Birds of a feather, thank you. Birds of a feather flock together. And so there's no, if you're hearing my voice right now, that's your sign that you're supposed to be listening to these readings. If you're popping in late to the readings, I'm going to put timestamps in, and we've covered several animals today, and each of these readings will be available for you to listen to when we post this. So we have Betty. So Betty, let me grab your card, hold in your mind what it is. I do have I've got about 10 minutes left here. So if you want a reading, just add a comment. I'd be happy to read for you. And let's see here, Betty, what we have. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. This makes me take a deep breath. I love cats. I don't own a cat right now. I have over time. I've had a few cats and I love them. They're, again, part of this reading today for all of us have been kind of stepping up into our gifts, because this is another card that just says you're a natural healer. Your intuition is strong. And we've had other cards today about recognizing the calling that's on your life. And I feel like this today, these readings coming out of the animal deck are all kind of telling us that there's a lot of upheaval, a lot of disappointment in the world right now. There's breakups, there's people that have had great losses. And each of us living our small lives, the people that you contact today, like whoever you see today, Betty, each of the people we see has some kind of drama going on. Every person you cross paths with has some kind of problem going on. Having the kind of perspective that you are not the only person suffering at the moment. You may have somebody in your life who is not speaking to you. Those of you who are hearing this, let your mind think of a person that's ghosted you or canceled you, or somebody in your family you haven't talked to in a long time. I'm feeling like pain in my belly right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's somebody listening to this who isn't experiencing like a tightness in the belly. That's your intuition. It's leaning on you. Something in your body is squeezing. So let's use that opportunity. Think of somebody in your life who's disappointed you that you wish that you could connect with. The problem is you can't sacrifice your self-concept. You can't compromise on the call that's on your life. You are independent. Betty, you're living your life unapologetically. You are starting a new life that is setting you free. You want to accomplish something. And there may be people in your life, family and friends, who are shaking their fingers saying, well, you can't do that. Who do you think you are? I mean, imagine me. I'm a grandmother and I have a YouTube channel. I mean, 2 years ago? No way. Never. Are you kidding? I couldn't fathom such a thing. And then I realized I don't have to put my face on. I can just let the cards be the star of the show. And when I realized that a little over a year now, I just love the ability to get on and talk to you guys. Here's a live stream. You didn't know you were having this reading today, and here it is. So the magic of the universe, the magic of tarot, the magic of the internet, and the law of attraction, where you are showing up at the right place at the right time. So the message for you, Betty, is don't be afraid of the challenges of standing up for yourself. The cat is very soft. And when you pet the cat's fur, it's soft and fabulous. But if that cat turns on you and uses its claws or its teeth, it's sharp, very sharp. So your challenge, Betty, is to walk that line between the softness of your personality and the harshness that you need to do to stand up for yourself. Earlier in the reading today, we talked about the divine feminine and the divine masculine. That was on the Swan card. So you might want to go back and watch that Swan reading and go. And also, I'm going to put a resource in the comments below about what you can do to strengthen your divine feminine. So be sure to look at that. Okay, Lisa, you've been so patient. Thank you, Lisa. And let's see here, Lisa. Oh, the Dragonfly magic. The cards have all been connected today, as they always are. Um, Oh, well, thank you, DJ. What a beautiful blessing. And I received that because it is real for me. This is living in the world the way it's been since COVID, where people had to isolate for protection and just because their heart called them to live separate, which I did. And it's hard as an awkward, person or being shy, to come back out and make friends when everything was so different. You couldn't even hug anybody a couple years ago, and now all of a sudden, life is back. And it's through these kinds of connections. I can't see your faces, I can't hug you, but I know we're connected, and you guys lift my spirits so much when you come back. I so love to see you all here. And so, Lisa, anyway, this one, Dragonfly, aren't dragonflies magical? So, one of the things that I learned from someone many years ago, there was a book called Earth Angels. I can't remember who wrote it right now offhand, but it talked about looking for signs that you know for sure the angels are involved, finding feathers, finding coins, seeing dragonflies, seeing butterflies. And again, take a look at the book E Squared by Pam Grout. It's a wonderful, practical book for practicing manifesting. But dragonflies look like little fairies. They really do. And when they do show up, it draws your attention. They are absolutely beautiful creatures, and they're not scary. You know how some insects are scary, like scorpions and spiders and stuff? But the dragonfly is always like a sign of positivity, of fairies and angels. So, Lisa, I feel today that the universe is reminding you to look for small signs. I feel like you know magic. You have seen some things manifest that cannot be described. I mean, you've had things show up that were so practical that you knew for sure that manifesting works and that the universe is behind you. But on the same hand, there's some things you're waiting for that are taking forever. And so it's really important for you to celebrate your wins. Earlier today in this readings, I can't remember what animal it was, but talked about writing down 10 things that you've accomplished that you're proud of, things that you have done yourself that you've accomplished is really a good thing to do. And just to build up your positive concepts around yourself. And then the other advice I have for you, Lisa, and anyone else who just feels like they're stuck, like they can't get things going, let's take out a piece of paper and write down the names or the first initial of everyone who's disappointed you. Now, there's been a ton of disappointments, and humans have not behaved properly and have hurt your feelings. So, right now, whoever comes up, just ask yourself, who has hurt my feelings in the last year or two? And just write down everybody's name that starts up. And then go through and rank it from a scale of 1 to 10. How much did that person hurt your feelings? 1 is, oh, barely, it barely hurt my feelings. And 10 is killer, like, ouch, ouch, they cheated, they betrayed, or they did something terrible. Once you've got your list of people, it's a good idea to just make a ceremony with it. Agree with yourself that you're just going to let them go. They have hurt you, who knows why, but it's in the past. The idea of releasing that past. And then crunch that paper up. You can light it on fire carefully or just throw it away, but as a sign that you're willing to step out and release the people that have hurt you. Okay. And it's a good thing. It's like spiritual housekeeping. This is another time when a private reading can be very helpful. If there's one particular person in your past that you can't get them out, it's like when you think about them, it's like a cold hand grips you on your heart, and you feel that power that the person's still connected to you. That's a time when you might want to have a reading just to get a little bit more wisdom. But if you do this work of writing down the people that have hurt your feelings, and then creating a goal for yourself to let go of them, and then releasing that paper, it's a good first step. Okay, so thank you guys. I'm right at an hour here, which is all the time that I have. I'm going to draw one more quick card just to close the reading. And thank you for coming. This is spontaneous. I do plan readings every Sunday. I'm on Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock Central Time, somewhere around that in the US, but the spontaneous readings, you never know. So let's draw one more card. What is it the universe has for us at the end of the reading? Oh, cut it out. How many times did I say this today? We are being called to find play, and it's the beautiful dolphin. Swim in the happy joy of living. Inhale confidence and exhale fear. Dive into your wisdom and go with the flow. Most of the people that come into my readings are people that have workaholic tendencies. You might be a workaholic over your art. You might be a workaholic over your garden. You might be a workaholic over your profession or a passion. But what this is just out of balance energy, where you spend so much time doing this over here, A, that you don't do B, C, D, and E. You're not getting enough done. And so it makes busy, busy, busy people who don't have any fun. There's no satisfaction. There's no joy. And so the dolphin card is perfect to close the reading. Let me reach across here and get our deer card. Come here. The deer card was how we started, which is about self-love and being gentle with yourself. Okay, let me get these in order. And then this playful card with the dolphin is just a beautiful bookend that today, what can you do that's sheerly fun? I've been looking at sidewalk chalk lately. I have a person I know has some, and I get an idea of going out and making um, a hopscotch board out here on my sidewalk, or do sidewalk art with sidewalk chalk. And I think, why do I think of doing that? Why did that come into my mind, the desire? I do color. I've gotten some coloring books. The cards make me feel like a child. They do. I can remember playing school with my brothers. I have 7 younger brothers. Can you imagine? And I can remember making them sit in chairs, and I would have my teddy bears in the other chairs, and I did school. I pretended I was a teacher when I was a little kid, and when I do the cards it feels the same way, because this is completely an imagination job for me. I mean, when I pick up the cards, stories come to me. I don't think about it, I just talk it out. And the fact that it resonates with the people that tune in is just miraculous to me, and unexplainable. So I feel like the important parts of this call were to have more fun. Hi, Latonia. They're to have more fun. I suggested looking at the book E Squared by Pam Grout. It's got 9 experiments in there that are super fun to try and to be more playful. And what she says is the truth. Whatever you're doing, if it's not fun, it's not sustainable. And so incorporating playfulness, something fun and satisfying to you, is an important part of feeling better about your life. One of the biggest challenges that I will present to you, and I would love your feedback, it would mean the world to me. It's like an informal survey. How can we have fun without spending money? Right? What is it that, because right now it's fun to go to the movies or go have a few drinks at the bar or do things that cost money, but how creative can we get to have fun without spending money? Once you get that, life becomes a very interesting journey. So please email me, tarotinfo, please, at gmail.com, and let me know, what do you do for fun? How do you become more playful? I would love to hear. So that's our last reading for today. For those of you who are just joining, I will be back Sunday mornings. I'm here at 10 o'clock Central doing live streams, and then I just pop on whenever I feel like it. So thank you to those of you who are joining me. Thank you, DJ. Blessings to all of you. Thank you so much for all the love you show me by coming back and sharing what I speak about here. The cards and I love you, and we'll see you next time. Have a beautiful day, everyone.